Come on now, bro. All these pound for pound fighters are too scared to fight me. They need 200 million to do it.
I got 200 million for you.
I'm fighting Jake Paul.
Pussy.
Talk about it. You fighting the best fighter in the world. You better be taking it seriously. You know, that goes to show, you know, how serious he's taking me and how much he respects.
Crawford has made a U-turn on Jake.
Crawford has changed his stance on Jake Paul's place in boxing. With him possibly replacing Tank, Crawford has said he's now open to the fight if things line up. This is surprising since he once said Jake didn't deserve to be in the ring with real professionals. But now it looks like the promise of a big payday has shifted his thinking. In the past, Crawford disliked what Jake Paul stood for, a YouTuber walking into boxing, making millions, and calling out fighters who had spent their lives in the sport. He even called Jake a circus act, saying he was turning boxing into a show instead of a real sport. Crawford had been one of the strongest critics, saying Jake disrespected a craft that demands patience and years of dedication.
Jake can punch with that right hand. Like, I seen him, you know what I mean, up close in person. Like, dude is big. He's not as slow as people think he is, and he can punch. You know, that's why a lot of people know, like, there was times where, you know, him and Tyson was in a...
But now, Crawford has changed his tune. The respect is starting to grow. On Logan Paul's podcast, he admitted he was wrong about Jake. He said, "Yeah, he's boxing now. At first, I was against it. When you and your brother came into the sport, I thought you were just using your YouTube fame to make quick money while real boxers barely earn anything. I felt it was disrespectful to us who've been doing this for years." That's coming from a man who once saw Jake Paul as bad for boxing.
Because check this out, Tank ain't gonna lose this fight. Hell no. Hell no. Tank ain't losing this fight. Too many holes. Man, Jake don't have enough experience. Yeah, man, this gonna be taking candy from a baby. You know, Jake is missing the rules. See, this is what happened when you don't grow up in the game. When you don't grow up in the game, man, at a young age, this is what happens. You know,
Crawford says his change of heart came after actually watching Jake train. He noticed Jake was putting in real work like a pro, not like a social media star. That's when it clicked for him. Crawford said, "After watching him and seeing how seriously he trains and stays focused, I realized this guy's improving." Crawford doesn't hand out compliments easily. He's undefeated, detail-focused, and known for perfection. So for him to say he's impressed with Jake means something. He's not saying Jake's an elite fighter, but he's admitting the effort is genuine.
Happened. Ryan Garcia fights for DAZN, and Jake Paul fights on Netflix. I mean, that's pretty much the bottom line. Golden Boy has a contract with DAZN. Ryan Garcia has a contract with Golden Boy. And that's just the way it is. I mean, this is business. You know, Ryan Garcia's probably going to go on a rant saying, "Oh, you're keeping me from making money and this and that and fighting." No, you have to go by the law, by the rules. You have a contract with DAZN.
Crawford saw it firsthand when he attended Jake's fight in Puerto Rico against Ryan Borland. Jake scored a clean knockout, and Crawford, who was there for a boxing event, watched closely. "I was sitting there and thought, this guy can really hit with that right hand," he said. Something changed that night. Sure, Borland wasn't a top-level opponent, but for Jake, it was another step forward, just like any other fighter's journey.
Out of like the influencer world would be the most lucrative thing for my career, and I think I was the only one who like actually wanted to do it, and actually wanted to go all the way, and that's why I set the goal for myself early to become a world champion. Set the bar extremely high. And
Crawford says he now understands that Jake isn't trying to skip ahead. He's not pretending to be ready for Canelo or Usyk right now. His fighting opponents suited to his level and improving with each fight. People want him to face Usyk, Crawford said, but that's not how it works. You move up step by step. After watching him live, Crawford said his respect for Jake grew even more. It's a big turnaround for someone who used to roll his eyes whenever Jake's name came up. Now, Crawford's not just recognizing him, he's open to fighting him. And with Gervonta Davis possibly out, that matchup looks possible.
It's kidnapping, all sorts of crazy stuff, guys. If this is true, I talk about just fumbling the bag. One of the biggest financial opportunities of his career, and he's about to ruin it. It's being reported that Jake's team is offering Ryan Garcia as a replacement for a December.
When Crawford first heard about Jake fighting Tank, he thought it was wild, and he wasn't wrong. Jake's a cruiserweight around 200 pounds, while Tank fights at 135. That's a massive difference. But Jake didn't back down. In a Netflix interview, When asked about Crawford's crazy comment, Jake said, "Yeah, this fight is crazy, two of America's biggest names in boxing. It's 50-50ths because of his skill and my size. That's what makes it exciting. Nobody knows what'll happen."
See this footage? Look at Tank. Now, if you know what you're looking at, the guy must be around 150 right now, 153, something like that. And you can really tell when he's sideways. When you look at him sideways and see the depth. See, from the front view, you can't really tell. But when he turns sideways, the guy is a wrecking ball. He's literally a baby rhino.
That's classic Jake, confident, sharp, and always selling the moment. But then came the question that got people talking even more. Would he fight Terence Crawford? Jake didn't hesitate. "I'd fight Terence 100%. Let's do it," he said. That's a matchup no one expected. Crawford is 42-0, one of the best pound-for-pound boxers alive and possibly the most complete fighter of his time. But he's also older now, while Jake is young, strong, and big for the weight. From a business and attention angle, it makes perfect sense.
I'm not gonna lie, you really got knocked out. Yeah, I really got knocked out. Watch the fight, you idiot. Went 12 rounds. Like, you're weird, bro. Bro didn't even knock me out or even throw punches. That's sad, bro. Just know, bro, I'm coming back. It's gonna be vicious. Like, you guys don't want to see that. You guys are weird trying to troll me over a fight I didn't even care about. God,
From a legacy angle, though, it's wild, and that's exactly why both men seem open to it. Jake even revealed that a fight with Canelo was almost confirmed before Canelo signed a deal with Saudi boxing chief Turki Al-Sheikh. "I still think the Canelo fight is huge," Jake said. "We're both big draws, and it'd be a major challenge for me. But right now, I'm focused on November 14th and getting through Tank first."
Right. He's 5'5" with a 67-inch arm reach. But as you can see here, he's working on his versatility. He's now working on fighting orthodox. He's naturally a southpaw. Now he's working on fighting orthodox.
Jake's naturally a southpaw but has been training to fight orthodox. Now that the Tank fight might not happen, Crawford seems like the perfect replacement, respected, skilled, and credible. Jake brings in the numbers, the media, and the hype. Together, they draw huge attention. Boxing often changes fast when timing and money line up, and this is one of those moments.
Beats Jake Paul?
Do I think he beats Jake? Yeah. I mean,
There's a huge size advantage, though.
it is, but I think Tank got the skills to make sure he come out on top.
Do you think that Jake has gone better?
Yeah, I think actually Jake got tremendously better from the time frame that he started till now. And in the right situation, I also could see him become a world champion.
Really?
A year ago, Crawford wouldn't even say Jake's name seriously. Now he's saying, "If everything aligns, I'd take that fight." It's not unrealistic anymore, it's business. Crawford has already achieved everything. Two-time undisputed champ, undefeated record, pound-for-pound king. There aren't many fights left that excite him or pay him fairly. A Jake Paul fight would break records. At this stage, it's not about proving anything. It's about cashing in while the spotlight's still bright.
You know what's going to happen with a 135-pounder going up against a 200-pounder. I think it's not a real fight. Jake just too big. Tank ain't gonna be able to get in from that jab. Jake land one good punch on Tank. So
Jake's side is thinking just as smart. He knows that fighting Crawford gives him real credibility, something he won't get from beating another retired MMA name. Crawford is the real deal, and even if Jake just holds his own, his respect level in boxing shoots way up.
My only concern is, the gloves. You understand what I'm saying? Because we don't fight in 12-ounce gloves. We don't use 12-ounce gloves. That's training gloves, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, that's 2 pounds away from Jake. He fight.
Anthony Joshua has also joined the conversation. Two former UFC stars, including Nate Diaz, are being looked at to replace Gervonta Davis, but Joshua's name entering the mix shocked everyone. After rumors and online teasing, promoter Eddie Hearn confirmed that early talks about Jake Paul versus Anthony Joshua have actually happened. Joshua's reply was simple, "Just let me know where and when."
Kidnapping, all sorts of crazy stuff, guys. If this is true, talk about just fumbling the bag. One of the biggest financial opportunities of his career, and he's about to ruin it. It's being reported that Jake's team is offering Ryan Garcia as a replacement for a
That's vintage Joshua, calm, confident, and direct. It wasn't some social media stunt or negotiation tactic. It was a straight message from one of boxing's biggest heavyweights saying, If the deal makes sense, I'm in. Hearn added that while it sounds exciting, it's not easy to organize. Speaking to reporters, he said there's a lot of business and logistics to sort out first. The main issue is that Jake Paul is signed with Netflix while Joshua is under DAZN. The two are rival platforms, and unless they agree to share rights, the fight can't move forward. Without DAZN's approval or deal they're happy with, we can't proceed, Hearn said.
Come out and put this fight in serious peril. So much so that reports have been saying that, hey, Jake Paul's team have already started contacting fighters about being a replacement, whether it be for this November 14th date or maybe a date in December. And the 5 names they already contacted are some of the biggest names in the sport.
But things are getting serious. Hearn revealed he has already spoken with Jake Paul's manager, Nikisa Baidarian, about making it happen. So, it's not just fantasy talk anymore, real discussions are taking place. Hearn also confirmed that Joshua knows about it and immediately responded with his trademark confidence, "Just let me know where and when."
He's a marketing genius, but when it comes to people that picking his fights, I can't get my head around it. If Tank hits him clean, he's going to sleep. He'll have a lot of smoke blowing up his backside by his coaching team and people like that, but when he gets hit for real, 10 ounce, well, I'm told it's 16 ounce gloves now, it's like an exhibition. Right. I'm told it's big gloves and head guards he's gonna need.
Tank is a natural lightweight while Jake weighs around 200 pounds. That fight was always going to be more of a spectacle than a fair contest, but fans were still hyped. Now that it might not happen, Jake's camp is already hunting for a new opponent who can headline a huge event. Speaking to Sky Sports, Jake confirmed it himself, talks about a fight with Anthony Joshua are real. It's 100% possible. Our teams are already in discussions to make it happen next year.
And the situation, you guys can look into it. I didn't, you know me, I don't really speak about stuff outside the ring, but now I have to since it affects the ring, okay, and what happens in the ring. The fight may be canceled. It's a civil suit from my understanding, and I don't want to, confuse you guys or misinform you guys. I didn't look into it much, but from
being Jake, he didn't stop there. He added, "It would be fun to take on Anthony Joshua after this fight. It's a massive risk and challenge, and nobody thinks I'd stand a chance. That's what motivates me." That's pure Jake Paul, chasing the impossible with full confidence. If that fight happens, it would be one of the biggest boxing events in years. Still, from a skill standpoint, it's a crazy idea. Joshua is 6 feet 6 inches, 250 pounds, an Olympic gold medalist, and a 2-time heavyweight champion. Jake, despite his progress, is a cruiserweight with under 10 pro fights. But his fearlessness keeps people watching.
We know it's early. Less than 2 weeks, no fighter is going to take that. There will be no fight if it isn't Tank Davis on November 14th. As this moment, there has been no cancellation, but it seemingly is in the direction of Tank Davis not fighting Jake Paul on the 14th. So no fighter, legitimate fighter, is going to step in on 2 weeks' notice, even if it is.
Not everyone is impressed, though. Former UFC champion Michael Bisping shared his thoughts and didn't hold back. On his YouTube channel, he said he has no sympathy for Jake as he searches for a replacement for Gervonta Davis. Bisping echoed what many fight fans think. The only reason the Davis matchup had attention was the curiosity factor. People wanted to see if Tank's skill could beat Jake's size. Without that matchup, the buzz isn't the same.
The retort would be there's such a big weight discrepancy there, right? That's what some people...
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure Tank probably sparred like heavyweights or light heavyweights and things like that.
Damn,
so
really?
It's probably nothing that he never seen before. I'm pretty sure Jake never fought nobody that little.
No, it's good.
So
that's the fascinating part about it.
I feel like it's more so harder for Jake to fight a smaller guy like that.
Bisping also highlighted what traditional fans have criticized for years, Jake's choice of opponents. Every time Jake fights, people question how serious it really is. His beaten retired MMA fighters and older boxers past their prime. It's entertaining but not elite-level boxing. Bisping admitted Jake's improving, but said he still doesn't believe Jake would ever face someone truly dangerous like Francis Ngannou.
Jake Paul versus Tank Davis November the 14th fight is off. The Jake Paul team have now reached out to Anthony Joshua, Floyd Mayweather, Ryan Garcia and Edgar Berlanga to replace Tank Davis, who is being sued for assault on his ex-girlfriend.
Bisping broke it down clearly. Going up against Francis Ngannou, a man who dropped Tyson Fury and nearly beat him, would be another level. There's no way Jake fights him, Bisping said. If he does, I'll be the first to admit I was wrong.
Is this really the case? It has been reported by a couple of online periodicals And if this is the case, then it says something about influencer, crossover and exhibition boxing. Because the reports are that the Jake Paul and Gervonta Davis fight is light by 6,000 tickets.
Bisping isn't just criticizing, he's speaking as a fighter. Ngannou isn't just powerful, he's proven he can hang with the best heavyweights in the world. Jake might be bold, but Ngannou is pure danger, huge, explosive, and with knockout power that scares even elite boxers. The risk for Jake is massive, but surprisingly, the two have already exchanged words online.
Jake Paul, Tank, how you see that fight going?
Man, that's not a real fight. I like Jake.
Is Tank?
It's not a real fight.
It's not a fight. Does Tank have a chance? He's so much smaller. He's a real boxer, but he's so much smaller.
After Jake's fight with Mike Tyson, Ngannou called him out on social media, saying he wanted to slap him. Jake fired back, calling Ngannou a clout chaser. It didn't go further than that, but it sparked interest. Still, Bisping believes it'll stay just talk. Meanwhile, Nate Diaz's name has come up again. He's fought Jake before and went the distance. The fight wasn't spectacular, but it sold well. Diaz brings fans, toughness, and crossover appeal, though he's not quite the star needed to replace Gervonta Davis.
Boxing here. So early rumours for the replacement for Tank Davis to fight Jake Paul is Nate Diaz. It's going to be a rematch that no one asked for and no one wants to see. Unless you do. What's your thought?
The only two names that could truly make headlines like that are Anthony Joshua and maybe Francis Ngannou. If Jake lands a fight with Joshua, it would silence most of his critics. That event would shatter streaming records. A YouTube star facing an Olympic heavyweight champion is crazy enough to grab everyone's attention. But the business side is tricky. Netflix and DAZN are rivals, and without a co-promotion deal, it may not go beyond talks.
I don't want to beat up somebody that small. I don't want to, you know what I'm saying?
What do you think of the fight?
I don't want to lose to somebody that. There's no point in the fight. It's a great fight, actually.
You think
I'm
it's a
not
good
hating
fight?
on the fight, but I think my thoughts on it is let's watch and see what happens.
Ryan Garcia said that boxing's turning into WWE.
Yeah,
with that type of matchup. Do you agree? Last thing, White House card, like he said, you want Conor McGregor?
Yeah, but the whole thing's on WWE, so
Right.
it's like, at least that's happening and getting something to talk about.
Still, Joshua's just let me know where and when line changed everything. It made the whole idea feel real. This isn't a joke anymore. It's something both sides are seriously looking at. Hearn wouldn't be entertaining it if the money and reach weren't huge. For Jake, even without the Davis fight, getting Joshua interested keeps his boxing story alive. Right now, between Diaz, Ngannou, Joshua, and Crawford, Jake Paul's next move looks as unpredictable as ever, and that's exactly how he likes it. Bold, risky, and impossible to ignore.